All right, so 30 days, 1 meal a day challenge. Why? Why am I doing this? Well, I'm doing this for one because I know what it's like when you let your bad habits ruin your life and run your life. And I know what it's like to look in the mirror and not recognize the person that is looking back at you and be so angry and so guilty because you're sitting on the couch and you can't keep up with your kids because you're too exhausted, and you find yourself at a point where you have to come up for air when you're tying your shoes. I know what it's like. I'm just a normal guy who struggled with my weight, my self-esteem, my self-image, feeling comfortable in my skin for far, far, far too long, ever since high school. And it honestly wasn't until a few years ago when I simplified first of all, my expectations, but simplified what I was doing down to just 1% and would actually focus on one single thing every single day. And for me, at the time, the simplest, the most bang for your buck would be fasting. I would just not eat. I could do an extreme protocol, which would be OMAD, but I would follow 1 meal a day for at least a few days a week. I could do that. I would just not bring my lunch to work for the few days I'm in the office, and I would go on a walk instead of eating for that day. OMAD is a little bit more extreme. If you know anything about fasting, OMAD's pretty extreme because it's 1 meal a day. So essentially you're fasting for 23 hours, and then you eat 1 meal at the end of the day. But I had a little bit of experience doing that. I had done a few things in the past. I tried a few 72-hour fast, a few 48-hour fast, a few 24-hour fasts, and experimented in the past. So I knew that I could do 1 meal a day as long as I had a few rules, a few tips for myself, because I knew that if I didn't follow this, I wouldn't continue it. Whereas at the end of the day, I could eat whatever I wanted. I wouldn't deprive myself of any foods, whatever I wanted at the end of the day, as long as I fasted. To the end of the day, I could have coffee and Diet Coke, but I would fast all the way till the end of the day, and I could eat whatever I wanted. That was my rule. I could eat whatever I wanted. And I knew that I could do this as long as I had a big, delicious meal waiting for me at the end of the day. That was my plan for the first month, to just stick with that, because I knew that if I could stick with that, it would eventually grow and the habits would get bigger, and that 1% would grow and grow, and that 1% would become a non-negotiable, and then I could add another 1%, and then it would make it very doable and very actually obtainable in life. What I didn't know at the time is that when I started this and I had committed, how fast that increase and how fast that duplication and multiplication would be, because of how good I felt. The autophagy, the energy, mental clarity, the focus, my efficiency was basically off the charts, and I was just getting way more stuff done. For one, because I wasn't worried about food, I wasn't worried about what I was going to eat. I was just doing life, and I felt great. And so for the last few months, I've gotten lazy again, and I've kind of put on a few pounds, and I've let myself enjoy life. I've let myself enjoy food and haven't really worried about it. But now it's time to knuckle down, and so I'm actually going to be doing 1 meal a day every single day for the next 30 days, and I'm going to be documenting the journey. I'm going to be sharing it here. I'm going to be doing a short later tonight of breaking my 23-hour fast that I'm currently on with a giant Hawaiian feast, so that's going to be awesome. But I'll be sharing tips, I'll be sharing tricks, things that I've learned in the past, things I'm learning now, things that are helping me. If you're currently on a fasting journey or a health journey, you can comment, you can subscribe, you can like, you can comment it below. We can encourage each other, we can motivate each other, we can help each other, because I'm doing this to help myself stay accountable, but also I've learned a few things, and I want to help at least one other person if you're on this journey, because this journey of weight loss is so frustrating and so defeating if you don't know what you're doing and if you don't know the mental tips to push to that next level. So like, subscribe, comment, and tune back in later for that short of me breaking my fast, and I will see you guys later. Peace. Love you guys. Bye.